Welcome to the Kurz Team Real Estate Show, where we will be discussing the ups and downs of real estate, evaluating the state of the market, and exposing what's hot and what's not, as we interview some of the most successful and dynamic individuals in our area. So sit back and relax while we bring a fresh perspective on the world of real estate in South Florida. You can find the Kurz Team online at www.thecurzteam.com or call us at 786-529-5273. Now, here's your host, David Kurz.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is David Kurz, your host of the Kurz Team radio show. Happy to have you guys all here. Again, I'm with my brother Alex Kurz. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
And we have a special guest today, Bruce Davis from Finance of America Mortgage, who you'll probably be hearing on the radio more often with us. He's a mortgage loan originator who works very closely with Douglas Elliman. How you doing, Bruce?
Good, and yourself? Glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on the show. We always like to start our show by saying hi to everybody and letting them know what's going on with some of the listings and things that we have on the market. We had a fantastic Brokers Open last week, Wednesday. We had announced it on last week's show. We had a great turnout. It was over at 7441 Southwest 66th Terrace. That's a property down in South Miami. It's a beautiful property. It's listed at 1.499. One of the few places left in Miami that you can actually still get a house on an acre. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that house?
I thought it was beautiful, and my favorite thing about it was how tucked away it was in that little cove. It was really a secluded oasis feel with that really large pool, and it had the koi pond with the waterfalls. There was a garden. It was a real Miami paradise.
Apparently the last owner, not the one that has it now, but the one before, there used to be a tennis court and basketball court and all this stuff in there, and he had taken all of that down because he really had no use for it, and he put up all this foliage, all these like king palms and stuff like that,
It was really secluded.
So it's real nice.
Yeah, it felt really like tropical.
The other nice thing about that property, I don't know if you notice, is that it ends right on that street.
Yeah.
So like, it's not really a cul-de-sac, but it's more like a dead end. You know what I mean? So you unless you're supposed to be on that block, you're not on the block.
Right. It's a big safety thing. Mm-hmm. So if you see an odd car, you have a basic idea of what is this person doing here.
Yep.
It's a great thing, and it's pretty rare too.
Yep. And then
one of safety and seclusion that you look for in your little Florida oasis away from
absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, you want to be close to everything, right? So it's like you want to be tucked away, but you want to be close. So it turns out that this particular property, I kid you not, is like seconds away from the Palmetto and Sunset.
Wow.
So I mean, how do you lose, right? So that property, we're showing it avidly. We're going to have a couple of open houses on Sundays. We're going to have another Brokers Open this coming Wednesday. So it's going to be a fantastic property to look at. The next property is over at 1100 Packer Street in Key West. That's that commercial property that we have down there. Yeah. Under contract. Always looking for backup contracts. And with commercial properties, you never know. Somebody can back out in a heartbeat. You know how that is.
It's been known to happen.
And they're financing. So commercial financing, I mean,
That's when it gets interesting.
That's when it gets really
a lot more moving parts, for sure.
And then they're doing, small business or getting small business loan involved in it and stuff like that, because they actually, the buyers own a business on the property.
Oh, okay.
So they're tenants trying to become now the new owners and landlords,
It adds a few more layers that makes it a little bit more challenging, but at the same time, the SBA is a good opportunity for small businesses to get started, and at the same time, recognizing that they're reinvesting in the community and helping grow. So
yeah, and we'll talk about that a little more. A lot of people don't realize that they can do so many things. Like, come on, guys, we're in America, man. Like, This is the land of building a business and creating an empire. I mean, sometimes you sit back and you look at, I know I'm going off topic here, but get used to this, guys, because I'm the ADD one, right? I got to be, I'm not. I got to tell you that, like, I read stories all the time, like, this guy, Virgin Mobile and Virgin Airlines, like how he came up, and I read stories about this, the kid that did Facebook and, all this other stuff, and you just got to think to yourself, like, these guys came from nothing, and they did things to become, self-made billionaires, like not even millionaires.
You have to be willing to take a chance.
Mark Cuban,
yeah.
Yeah, I love Mark Cuban's story. He's probably one of my favorites.
Yep. And then we've got one up in North Bay Village, 7601 East Treasure Drive. It's a condo on the lower penthouse level. It's a 2-2. It's real nice. Got real nice views. That one's listed at $313,000. 1239 Mariposa, which is a great little property. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in Coral Gables. And so the beauty of this particular property is, if you don't want to live there, you can use it as an investment because it's so close to UM, which a lot of people are doing now. You know, they're buying these properties, and they buy properties around UM because they know they're going to get those UM students renting their properties out.
And it's very little maintenance to keep up for a regular. I mean, when I was in college, I didn't need anything. I had a blow-up mattress and a mini fridge, and I was happy. You know,
how minimal you become, right?
So it's a great investment because the upkeep is very minimal, and the students are always there. I mean, Miami's not going anywhere.
No, it's
anytime
not.
soon, and you know, it's easy to keep up.
That's funny because you say that. I didn't go to traditional college, right? I went to different type of colleges, so. My master's degree didn't come from sleeping on an air mattress, but then again, I was in the Marine Corps at the same time.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, but we were minimalistic too. Like it's amazing how similar it is. You guys did it because you couldn't afford it, and we did it because that's all we had. Like it was like, hey, here you go.
Is it your mantra that you overcome and adapt?
Overcome and adapt. That's right.
I have a feeling that my teachers were a lot easier going when I said the dog ate my homework than your drill sergeant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We would walk into a room, and if we got assigned to a barracks room that had a small fridge in it, like that was a gold mine. Are you kidding me? We were like, what? I can store food in here? Oh man, another property that we have still coming on the market. This one is 2850 Northwest 173rd Terrace. This is in Miami Gardens. It's a great property, and the reason it's still coming on the market and not on the market yet is because this property is still getting completely remodeled, right? So these kind of new school investors picked up this property, but he's also a general contractor, so he's like doing a bang up job on this property. It's gonna be beautiful,
which eliminates a lot of the back end problems when the potential buyers come in, because then they're not taking the place apart because all of the repairs are done. All
of it's done, and then on top of that, you qualify for every single loan you can think of. This is a single family house that's turnkey, ready to move in. With no issues.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's what a lot of families are looking for, that, because the thing is, you come into a new area and then you have to start looking for contractors, you have to get permits, and all of this is taken care of. So as you say, it's move-in ready, and that's the ideal situation to be in.
Man, that's such a good thing to find here in Miami, something that's move-in ready to go, you know? What else we got? We got 11561 Southwest 64th Street, Unit B. So this was a property that we put on the market. It's a townhouse, but it's labeled a condo. So we'll talk about this more later, but that limits the loan applications and stuff. And we had it sit for a minute, and we were like, promoting it and marketing it, and then all of a sudden, it was like all the marketing landed on everybody's lap, and all of a sudden, like I think in the last few days, we received 3 contracts on this place.
Wow.
And one of them is a full cash offer, so you know where this is going. Then
Doesn't we got me, but that's all right.
Money talks.
I know, that's the market we're in.
Money talks.
Yes.
10 Venetian Way, Unit 1903. So that one's a beautiful one. 19th floor of the Grand Venetian, right?
Love that.
And then the area is beautiful. The view is fantastic.
Views.
I mean, out of control. Out of control. The property is listed at 1.1, which is a steal in that building.
Wow.
I know that there's another unit that's on the lower floor. I think it's like on the 4th or 5th floor, and it's listed at 960. So, and we're on the 19th floor at 1.1, right? With very little to do to the condo.
That's a steal.
2-2, correct?
Yeah, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. All things can happen. Some people have walked in there talking about blowing out that 2nd bedroom, creating a big living space. I mean, there's so many things that can be done to that unit. The building's getting a complete remodel. I mean, new pool, new tennis courts, new basketball courts, new lobby, new everything. So you're getting a complete remodel.
The building already is phenomenal. I mean, I think it's a
beautiful
looking building.
And it's a good location.
That classic Miami vibe to it, which is awesome.
Yep. And then last but not least, 14239 Southwest 96 Terrace. Now this is a villa townhouse type setup, but it's a lot and block. So that opened up every loan possible that you can get for this property, and it's not considered a condo. So the beauty of this is that man, Bruce, I can tell you, I put this thing on the market, and 4 hours later, I had contracts coming in.
Wow.
Like, no lie. And it's getting shown today I think like 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're going to be able to sit down with the seller and go, here's a plethora of contracts.
It's not going to be on the market very long.
No, it's not, and it's well priced. You know, which is something I always tell people: if you're going to list with us, we're going to do everything we can to sell your property, but price it well. All right, guys, we're going to take off to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to get more into loans and interest rates with Bruce Davis. My name is David Kurz, and I'm the sales director for the Kurz Team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Our team specializes in South Florida real estate, focusing on buyers and sellers alike. You can visit us at either one of our 2 sites, themiamihomesearch.com or thekurzteam.com, or call us at 786-529-5273. No matter your price point, there's a specialist on our team that knows how to properly help you sell your home or find the home of your dreams. My team and I work hard to ensure our clients are happy, and because of this, we've become one of South Florida's best-known real estate teams. You can visit us today at thekurzteam.com or themiamihomesearch.com, or call us at 786-529-5273 and set an appointment. Let us come out and see you. Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that commercial break. I'm sure it was about me. I'm not really sure. So if it wasn't about me, let me give you my website. It's thekurzteam.com. That's TheKurzteam.com. You can visit our website anytime you want. You can look at any property that's available in South Florida. You can check out our charity. You can check out our radio show. You can listen to our radio show on there. If you're listening to this right now on the radio or on iHeart, you can also log into our website and see us moving around and live on a live feed on there, which is pretty cool, actually.
You can also check out our TV show, Mr. David Kurz, featured as the real estate professional on Miami in Style.
Man, I sound famous, don't I?
You are, you are kind of famous.
Absolutely. I'm like famous in my own house. So
not charging for autographs at this point, though, huh?
Not charging for
I
autographs.
think you're famous. Dad thinks you're famous.
Dad thinks I'm famous. Hi, Dad. I'm shouting you out. So visit our website, learn a little bit about our team, and we'd be happy to work with you. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, that's what we're here for. Speaking of buying and selling homes, today, as I mentioned earlier, we have Bruce Davis with us from Finance of America Mortgage. So Bruce works very closely with Douglas Elliman. Mm-hmm. You've been with our office for how long now?
Just over a year now.
Yeah. I remember when you first came down, and you know, you're a very soft-spoken kind of guy, you know, and then we got to know each other a little bit more, and then all of a sudden I found out you were from like the old hood, and we're all from New York, and
you know, we were just discussing that Bayside High School.
That's it.
Yeah,
Which was the same high school.
Imagine
with a little bit of distance in time.
Yeah. Got you by a couple of years.
Same general experience.
No, some of the same haunts are still there.
So that's the bell bottoms and
right?
stuff like that. I think we went from bell bottoms to skinny jeans. We went the exact opposite way.
Oh yeah.
Complete different direction.
Man, you weren't in bell bottoms time, were you?
I was there at bell bottoms, afro. Forget about it.
Oh man,
it's scary.
You're right. You do look younger than.
Yeah.
So Bruce, I wanted to bring you on board because I want to. I guess deliver information to our listeners right now, right?
Right.
So where are the interest rates right now?
Well, that's funny you mention interest rates, because interest rates are always moving up and down. And I think when people get into that conversation about interest rates, they get caught up in a number. And when you're going for financing, it's not so much about the number, because anybody can throw a number at you. It really comes down to, is that client prepared to get the best rate that they can qualify for? Because that's the key. It's what do they qualify for? Because you can say a rate, like, for example, today's rates are probably in the high 3s to the low 4s. And that's across the board, be it VA, FHA, jumbo. It's all going to be around the same. But that doesn't mean that the client's going to get that rate because they're not qualified.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing in any type of financing is making sure that the client understands the process, what's involved. What are we looking for now? Because I know earlier we talked about the differences between now and 10 years ago and how the mortgage market has changed. Well, those of us who were around maybe 10 years ago will remember there was a time you could get a mortgage if you had a FICO and a Pulse.
Yeah, I know that because I had a FICO and a Pulse, and I bought a really killer condo in Miami Beach.
And I'm telling you, it was easy, and it was just, it was easy, but there was a price to be paid. And you saw with the mortgage meltdown what happened.
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, I was at my cousin's house having drinks, you know, and my mortgage guy called me. He said, "Hey, man, you know, we're ready to close." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're ready to close. Can you close right now?" I said, "Man, I'm at my cousin's house having a good time, you know." And it was like nighttime. It was like Friday night, like, you know. And he came over. Like, that's how easy it was. He came over and he was like, "Hey, I'll be right there." And he brought over all the documents and we notarized everything right then and there. And he left. And before I knew it, I was the owner of a condo in Miami Beach.
Imagine that. Well, I think if you can take that example and move it forward to where we are now, which is more of a common sense aspect of financing.
Thank goodness, huh?
I think it really comes down to people that are getting houses now are people that can afford to get a house now. And the American dream of home ownership is just that. It's a dream, but the idea is to make that dream reality. And the dream doesn't have to be a nightmare if the person is prepared. How do you prepare is the question most people ask. You have to be, I think, the most important step is pre-approval. Pre-approval means you actually take the time to figure out where that person is financially at the time that they're going to apply. Right. And a lot of people get caught up with, they think they're ready to apply because they know they've got this great job that's going to give them a raise. Right. They're going to get this money down the road. But when you go and apply for a mortgage, all lenders look at a snapshot of where you are today. So if we've done our job as a mortgage originator properly, we prepare that person when they go to that underwriter to have the best chance of getting approved at that time by presenting realistic information.
It's funny that you say that because I was actually dealing with that recently with a client who I was showing properties for multiple weeks, and then they found something they love and they kept insisting. I kept pushing the get pre-approved, and they're like, yeah, we're good, that'll be no problem. And now we're facing their speed bumps in their process,
right,
which I try to push on everybody to get pre-approved as soon as you can, so that when the time comes ready to pull the trigger, you can do so with ease.
Right.
You don't have to go through this process.
And I always tell people, like there are people that run to their bank to get pre-approved, and listen, I'm not going to say that that's wrong. What I'm going to say is that my suggestion has always been, if I'm your realtor, come see me first. Let me guide you through the whole process. That's my job, right? If you think about it, my job is not to send you emails with houses so that you can tell me which one's the right one, and then take you to see that one and write a contract. It's not my job. My job is to consult you.
Right.
My job is to guide you. My job is to really put you on the right path to home ownership. And a part of that is recommending someone like you that works on my team that I know and I trust, and I say, hey, listen, all right, you want to buy a house. All right, great. Everything's looking good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's sit down 30, 45 minutes, have a conversation, and then I'm going to send you over to Bruce. And we're not going to go shopping until you get approved for this credit card. You get what I'm saying? And that's the joke I make with people all the time. They say, well, can we see some houses first? No, I don't window shop.
Well,
right?
It's so critical in the process to have, as you said, the right team. Because ideally, we're all in this business to help people get to that end result, which is closing. And as a realtor, you want to deal with legitimate prospects. And I think on the origination side and the lending side, we want to eliminate the suspects.
Yeah.
Who will take you out, waste your time, and have no ability to buy. Right. Now, it's clear to everybody that everyone has the opportunity and the ability to buy. It's just a matter of, is it the right time for that individual? So that's where, as you say, you sit down and do a consultation, which is what's supposed to happen. You don't just say, oh, I like this property, let me go out and buy it.
Yeah, most people don't. Most agents don't do that consultation, and furthermore, they allow people to dictate how they do their job.
Exactly.
And it should be the reverse. Like, hey, listen, out there, if you're a buyer and you're looking to buy a house, don't dictate your realtor on how to do the job. Trust your realtor. If you choose me or you choose someone else out there, trust that they know what they're doing, because if they don't know what they're doing, then you're working with the wrong realtor, right?
And the same holds true with the mortgage process, because so often clients want to tell you how it's supposed to be done. Well, this bank didn't ask me to do that, or this lender didn't ask me to do that. The process these days has really become streamlined for the majority of buyers, and it goes down to a couple of things that they have to be able to provide. 2 years worth of income history, and that's W-2s and tax returns. Last 30 days pay stubs, the last 2 months' bank statements. This is standard across the board. Now, of course, when you get into some of the more exotic type of loans where you have high net worth individuals who will qualify based on their assets, whole different type of lending.
Yeah.
But the majority of America is going to go the standard way of qualifying.
Yep. Or
now,
1099 with showing tax returns, so
Right.
forth, so on.
and
Self-employed.
Self-employed, where we're going to get a CPA letter giving us year-to-date earnings with that 2-year history. So it really becomes a function of having that cohesive team where you trust your realtor, that realtor gives you a trusted referral in a
Yes.
lender,
Yes.
and trust that lender. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. Because when you come to a realtor, you're putting your faith and trust in that realtor to get you into the home. And a lot of times it comes down to, and I can't stress this enough, understanding what that person's lifestyle needs are.
Yeah.
And as a lender, we have to be cognizant of that as well, because certain mortgage programs are not right for certain people based on the lifestyle.
Yep.
Are you going to be in this house for a long period of time? You probably want to go with a fixed rate loan. Are you a person who's got a limited income? Then there's programs that we're going to put you into,
Yeah.
be it the FHA, be it the VA. And the VA loan program, I have to tell you, is one of the things that's probably overlooked by a lot of Americans.
And I'm glad you brought this up because you know I'm a veteran. I spent 9 years in the United States Marine Corps. I love my Marines and all the other services too.
And
They do exist. I know the Marine Corps is number one, but
a debt of gratitude for that too.
But I give a special shout out to all my active duty and veterans out there because you guys deserve it. And let me drop some knowledge on you. There is a VA loan. I know they told you about it while you were in the military, but most of the time they don't really tell you much else about it, right? They just say
Right.
you qualify for this VA loan. And then we happen to live in a town that's not very military friendly. It's just not a military town, and because of that, probably 80 to 90% of the agents that live in this area, they don't know enough about it. We recently did a presentation because I'm the president of the Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals here for the Miami chapter, and we recently did a presentation for a bunch of agents, and we said, hey guys, listen, this is a viable option. So I'm going to let you tell everybody, why is the VA loan such a great option for a veteran?
Well, it's a great option for a couple of reasons. One, it's a program that I personally believe is one of the things that we should be doing because it says thank you for those of you who serve this country and those who continue to serve this country.
Absolutely.
Which goes underappreciated, and I think that's something that as Americans we all need to change. That being said, the program is one that you can get a VA loan with 0 down payment.
Come on now. I got it. Like most realtors, if you're a realtor out there right now listening to my show and you're pushing FHA on veterans, pay attention to what he just said. FHA is 3.5% down. VA is 0 down.
That's correct. Now, there's a couple of things that they need. One is a certificate of eligibility, which is simple to get.
Which is not hard to get.
Right.
Now it's so much easier. I remember back in the day, you had to write to the VA, and then the VA had to mail you one, and that would take weeks to happen, because let's face it, the VA works slow. But but now they're all digital.
Right.
Now you pull that up on a computer.
And then the other document that we need is the DD-214.
Yes.
And basically knowing that the veteran is honorably discharged.
Yes.
Now, that being said, I think the other part that comes in, which is why it's so important to work with a realtor like yourself, is there's a conversation that needs to be had with a potential seller of a property where we explain, not we, but you as a realtor are going to explain to them, listen, I have a situation, I have an opportunity here for a veteran, someone who served our country, to purchase this property. Would you, Mr. Seller, have any challenge in working with a veteran and having an opportunity to give something back to someone who's given so much to us? I think when you have that conversation with a seller, most of them get past that apprehension about, it's going to take longer, it's going to be a process.
Yes.
Well, guess what? In this day and age, there is no 1, 2, 3 loan process anymore.
I always laugh when I have that conversation with my sellers, you know, and I'm telling them, listen, you know, I'm an advocate for veterans, so I'm going to be chasing down some veterans to buy this house with a VA loan. And it may take a little bit longer, you know, and it's not a lot, really, Bruce. It's, you know, we're talking a difference between a 30 to 32 day marker to a 40 to 45 day marker.
That's correct.
So we're asking you to stay in the house another week. Right. But at the same time, I always tell them, look, chances are, if you go with another buyer with another different type of loan, they're going to need an extension anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like most of the time, you know, it's very rare that you get to that 30-day marker and you're closing, you know, especially when it comes to mortgages.
Right.
You know, if you're dealing with a cash buyer, you close in 10 days, right? You know, completely different story. So let me ask you something. That we know that the big difference between VA and FHA is that
the down payment.
The down payment, right? So now, a conventional loan, I know that when people think conventional, they think 20% down. But there are other conventionals, right? There's 10%, there's 5%, right?
There's 10% down loans, there's 5% down loans. Conventional loans just mean it's not going to Fannie Mae, it's not going to the FHA or the VA. Okay. Now, the conventional loans are anything from, say, $50,000 to $417,000 is conventional. Okay. Once you go over that $417,000, then you go into the jumbo category.
And that's true for FHA as well, right?
Right. So, FHA limits vary. Most of Miami, the FHA limit is $347,000, and wow. Yeah. But again, a person buying using FHA for financing is probably not buying your jumbo product. Yeah. But again, it's the type of thing where that consultation on your part, on the lender's part, whoever the lender might be, is one where you have to figure out what's the best product for that client. Okay. It's not about a square peg in a round hole. Consultation is just that. Yeah. Working with trusted professionals who take the time to find out what do you need to do, giving you the advice of the things to do when you're in a mortgage process. Yeah. Don't go and buy a new car. Yeah. Don't lease a new boat. And
listen, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about that in a minute because I do want to discuss that a little bit, right? Okay. But all right, so let's talk about something. We talked about moving into the jumbo, so anything over 417 is considered a jumbo loan. Correct. Because usually when you tell a buyer that they fall under the because of what they want to purchase is the jumbo loan category, they're thinking, I'm not buying a multi-million-dollar house. Right. No, jumbo doesn't mean multi-million-dollar house. It could be, but it doesn't mean that. It just means that you're over a specific threshold, right? And then, so how do your down payments change when you're moving into jumbo?
Well, believe it or not, even with a jumbo mortgage, you could put down as little as 5 or 10%. What? But here's the thing. Your seller may not be comfortable signing a contract with a buyer who's only a jumbo buyer who's only putting that down. So there again, it becomes a function of, in a market like Miami where a lot of the transactions are cash, you as an agent are going to look at what is this seller likely to look at and accept. Now, the strength of your contract determines who's going to get the house and who's not. Yeah. So while the programs are out there.
I think it comes with education too, Bruce, right?
Exactly.
Because one thing that I like to do, and that my team and I do, is when we work with a buyer specifically, right? And no matter what type of loan they're getting, no matter what, when we submit an offer for this buyer, like we should know who they are by now. Right. We had a consultation with them. We should know who they are. So when we have a presentation of an offer to another agent, I write a story about this, right? So I explain everything, and I tell them, you can call my lender if you want to. This is the product they're in. They're super qualified. Like, you know, I did my research so we don't have any hiccups, right? We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break right now. We're going to come back with Bruce and Alex, and we're going to dig into some more loan information because I think that this is really helping you guys out. Talk to you in a few. My name is David Kurz, and I'm the sales director for the Kurz Team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Our team specializes in South Florida real estate, focusing on buyers and sellers alike. You can visit us at either one of our two sites, themiamihomesearch.com or thecurzteam.com, or call us at 786-529-5273.
No matter your price point, there's a specialist on our team that knows how to properly help you sell your home or find the home of your dreams. My team and I work hard to ensure our clients are happy. And because of this, we've become one of South Florida's best-known real estate teams. You can visit us today at thecurzteam.com or themiamihomesearch.com or call us at 786-529-5273 and set an appointment. Let us come out and see you. Hey everyone, hope you're all ready for our show. My name is David Kurz.
And my name is Alex Kurz.
And together with our real estate team, we are bringing you the Kurz Team Real Estate Show.
Tune in and check us out as we discuss South Florida real estate live on the radio every week, bringing you new and exciting real estate information.
You can visit our site and listen live at KurzTeamRadio.com.
Welcome back to the show. This is David Kurz. Visit us on our website, thecurzteam.com. That's TheKurz team, TEAM.com. You can learn all about us and listen to this show over and over and over again as many times as you want, and share it with all your friends and put it on your Facebook and Twitters and Facetwitter and whatever you feel like doing, right? You can also contact us on our phone number, 786-529-5273. Again, that's 786-529-5273. We like to think we're America's best realtors located in South Florida, so we can handle any of the business that you have down here in South Florida, from Boca to Key West. How does that sound? We have a decent team behind us, and we put in the work to make sure that you guys are well taken care of. So we're back with Bruce again, and we left off talking about jumbo loans and the fact that you can actually purchase a jumbo loan with 5%, but we also touched on the fact that it's not all so sexy to the seller.
Correct.
Because they're worried that maybe this guy doesn't have money, you know?
Well, here's the other thing to think about when you put down less than 20%. You have mortgage insurance.
Yes.
Which adds to your monthly payment.
Yes.
So it's a matter of making sure that that person's going to qualify. Your traditional jumbo buyer is putting down 20% or more. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
So your non-traditional, your conventional buyers who are putting down the 5%, the 10%, with conventional financing, you have what's called mortgage insurance, and private mortgage insurance, and then you have the MI, which is mortgage insurance on your FHA loan as well. That stays with the loan throughout the life of the loan.
Yeah.
So with the conventional, it can come off once they reach that 78 LTV. But again, it really comes down to understanding what your seller wants in that transaction.
Yeah. Yep.
One of the things that we started talking about, which I know we said we'd get back into, is I want to make sure that customers, your clients, know that when they're going to buy a house and they've signed that contract,
the do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts. Pay your bills on time.
Yes.
You know, make sure that everything that's on your credit report is accurate information, because it's so easy to have mistakes on your credit report that after the fact becomes a major issue.
Now, unless you have unlimited tapped funds in the middle of your loan process, please don't go buy that Lexus.
No.
Please don't, unless you're pulling that money from under the mattress and you're buying it straight cash and nobody's going to know about it.
Right.
If you're leasing that Lexus, you're just ruined your income to debt ratio, right?
That's right. And you might think, oh, well, I'm going to help out a friend. You don't co-sign for anybody else.
No.
You don't apply for any new credit because you want to strengthen your credit profile.
If mom needs a car right now, you tell her to wait 2 weeks till you close. Like, just please, mom, I'll give you a ride everywhere.
Right.
You know?
And the other thing, too, which tends to get people into trouble, is large deposits. Now, what happens is anytime there's a large deposit into your account, we have to be able to verify the source of those funds.
Yeah.
So if money's coming from the mattress, you can't verify it. It's a problem. It's a red flag. Don't put it in the bank.
Don't put it in the bank.
You know, it becomes getting a loan is it's a common sense process if people follow certain basic rules, and these rules are put in place to protect A, the homeowner, and B, the lender.
Yeah.
Because you look at it from the standpoint, it's the time when you're entering into, in most cases, what's going to be a 30-year relationship. Now, most of us have dated, gotten married, been involved with a person. You wouldn't enter into a 30-year contract with a stranger.
Yes.
Same thing with a mortgage. You're not entering into a 30-year mortgage without the lender getting to know who that individual is.
Yeah, you want to know. They want to know who you are.
Right.
You know, and that's so key, because there's a reason why the market blew up before, you know, and it was because it was so easy to get a mortgage, and it was like you just, how you related it, you know. I love how you related it, because back then it was like meeting somebody and marrying them the next day and expecting to be with them forever.
Right. And it's not going to happen, because that's when you find out, oh, by the way,
the chances are real slim.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't pay your bills on time, or you're a serial killer, you know. So, but these are things you want to know up front before you
want to know
sign
what's
on that
being
line.
kept in the freezer in the garage.
Exactly.
You know?
It wasn't hamburger meat, you know.
Oh, that's horrible. But it's reality.
That's true.
It's reality.
That's true.
And so let me ask you, I know 10 years ago to today, there are huge differences. What are some of the hurdles that you see buyers facing today with obtaining mortgages?
Lack of preparation.
I'm real glad you brought that up, because there's something that I always tell people, especially if you're self-employed and you're a 1099, right? Because let's face it, most people that are 1099 employees write off as much as possible on their tax returns, so that they don't have to give Uncle Sam a $100,000 check at the end of the year, right?
Right.
So I always tell people, if you're intending on buying a house in the future, sit down with your agent and maybe his lender and come up with a plan, right? Look, there's a lot of realtors in Miami-Dade County, a lot of realtors out there are looking for that next house to sell. They're living that paycheck to paycheck, just like a lot of Americans do. And just because you think realtors earn a lot of money, it's not the reality. The average, we were talking about this one time, Alex, right? The average agent sells $2 million a year, which equates to about $60,000 minus taxes.
Actually, it's less throughout the United States. The average agent, the biggest percent of a real estate agent is actually earning $35,000.
So, I mean, you know, not every agent is making a killing, right? The top 10% of the realtors are doing 80 to 90% of the business, right?
You said this yesterday. I love the way you put it, too. Correct me if I'm wrong. I say the top 10% of real estate agents are doing 90% of the business.
Yeah, that's what I just said. And so that's the reality, right? Yeah. So I always tell people, know who you're working with and come up with a plan with them, because that top 10%, they're not just jumping from the next buyer to the next buyer to the next buyer. Oh, you're not ready now? Okay, I can't work with you. No, they're helping people. They're building a pipeline. They have a business pipeline, and they're helping people along the way, consulting them.
Which goes to how my view of this business is. One, as a lender, we're supposed to make sure we have the difficult conversations with the clients. I can't do business with everybody when they want to do business. Yeah. But the one thing that I pride myself on is I will tell my agents, my clients, the truth, because that's more important. You get that fast no versus the long delayed maybe. Yeah. And then the deal blows up. What have I done? I've reached into your pocket and taken your paycheck. I've dashed that client's dreams of home ownership, which is probably more important, because that's the referral that you're not getting, I'm not getting. Yep. And this business is all about our ability to leverage each potential client into the next potential client or the next potential sale, because that home that they buy now is only a starter home for a lot of people, or it may be the second of many. Yeah. And if we haven't done,
relationships are so important in this.
That is so key.
It's probably, I mean, I'm not going to put a percent on it, but it's definitely one of the top key factors in the real estate industry is relationships.
Yeah, I feel like most of the friends I have now, I've sold a house to over the last 10 years, right? Because you build such a strong relationship with them while they're purchasing probably the largest investment they will ever make in their lives, right? And so you're talking to them and you're working with them and you're like knee deep in their finances and you know all kinds of stuff about them, and all of a sudden you're like, man, you closed on your house, and they're like, dude, come over for dinner,
right?
Like, you just helped me do something real big,
because you took the time to find out who they are as a person.
Absolutely.
And part of that is, now obviously due to privacy, there are certain things that are going to be discussed openly and certain things that aren't, but at the end of the day, the client needs to walk away from that experience knowing that you took the time to find out, who am I, what do I really want to do, and then guide you down. This is the reality. Based on the picture that you present to us today, we can do this way, this another way, but I give you the options, and they're the honest options about what your options are as far as getting financing, which I think is more important than anything else.
Man,
Because
that's so key for working with buyers or sellers. I'm telling you right now, if you're a buyer or seller out there and your agent doesn't know you very well, they don't know what you're exactly looking for and what your lifestyle is about, they don't know if you like to run on the beach or if you like to cook in your backyard, it makes a difference where you're going to buy and sell.
Absolutely.
You know? We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. In the meantime, you can hit up thekursteam.com. If you have more questions, please give us a call at 786-529-5273. When we get back from this commercial, I'm going to let Bruce give you all his contact info too.
My name is David Kurz, and I'm the sales director for the Kurz Team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Our team specializes in South Florida real estate, focusing on buyers and sellers alike. You can visit us at either one of our two sites, themiamihomesearch.com or thekurzteam.com, or call us at 786-529-5273. No matter your price point, there's a specialist on our team that knows how to properly help you sell your home or find the home of your dreams. My team and I work hard to ensure our clients are happy, and because of this, we've become one of South Florida's best-known real estate teams. You can visit us today at thekurzteam.com or themiamihomesearch.com, or call us at 786-529-5273 and set an appointment. Let us come out and see you.
All right, welcome back. David Kurz here with Alex Kurz and Bruce Davis. I'm so happy that we spent a significant amount of time. You know, originally when you and I spoke, Bruce, I said, hey, we're going to spend about 15 minutes talking about mortgages and interest rates and this and that. And then we really got into conversation. I think we're like almost 40 minutes deep into this conversation. And it's so key because I think that when we went on commercial break, Freddie, our producer, looks at us and he goes, hey man, sorry I didn't give you the countdown, but I was listening to the conversation because it was making sense. And that just tells me that what we're saying is good information for all our listeners out there. You know, it's so key. You know, so hey, let me hit some of these pointers real quick. First of all, if you're intending on buying a house sometime, start with a plan. So speak to your awesome agent, David Kurz, or if there's somebody else in your life that's an outstanding agent, feel free to talk to them too. If they don't tell you what you want to hear, come back to your awesome agent, David Kurz. I'll help you out. Alex and I will sit with you or any other members of our team. We've got great team members. And we do a really good job. We train together, we play together, we work hard together, you know?
Absolutely.
And that's the way to go. Look, I think it's important to hit up some of the other pointers. Make sure that you're having a conversation with your agent. If you're a buyer and you called an agent and the agent said, no problem, I'll send you some listings over email, tell me which ones you like and I'll take you to go see them, wrong answer. Wrong answer. When you call an agent and you say, I'm interested in buying a house, that agent should ask you some intuitive questions, should try to understand what you're trying to buy, and the next thing that agent should do is say, hey, when do you think we can sit down and talk about this? When can we meet up? And you as a buyer should make the time to do it, you know? And I get buyers sometimes that say, man, I really don't have time. And I say, listen to me. You're calling me to tell me that you're about to purchase the largest investment of your life and you don't have 30 minutes to talk about it? I mean, you're starting off on the wrong path here.
Absolutely.
You know? And so take the 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I don't care if it takes 4 hours, guys. Sit down and talk with your agent. Let them get to know you and your lifestyle. Let them understand what it is that you're looking for. Believe it or not, those 30 to 40 minutes, my team and I like to say, will save you weeks on the road. Weeks of unnecessary shopping, looking at houses that just don't make any sense whatsoever.
And if they're not paying cash, get pre-approved.
And so that's a part of that conversation. Guys, you know, when you talk to your agent, and you should say, hey, Mr. Agent, or David Kurz, who do you recommend for mortgage? And I'm going to point you to somebody like Bruce Davis, and Bruce will sit with you and do the same thing. And he's going to have a conversation with you, and obviously his conversation is going to be a lot different because it's going to be more focused on your finances and your employment and your family size and your debt to income ratios and things that I have really, honestly, guys, like zero interest in. Like, me and financing are not friends.
Which
right?
comes to where I know that me trying to show a person a property, I'm out of my league.
And that's why you do what you do and we do what we do.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like sometimes my agents say, hey, listen, I'm going to go sit with Bruce. I want to learn more about mortgages. And I tell them, sure, that's amazing thing to do, because you should know the basics, but don't try to be the expert, man.
Right.
Because it changes so often, and it's hard enough to keep up with the changes that's happening in real estate than to try to have to keep up with the changes in mortgages, right?
Absolutely.
And then, of course, get that pre-approval, know what you can spend, know what your limits are, do all that stuff so that you can be ready to go.
And that's so important, because at the end of the day, from a reality standpoint, you have to be realistic about purchasing, be it a condo, be it a single-family home, even commercial properties.
Yeah.
You have to know where you stand financially. And that's a conversation that people call it the come to Jesus conversation that you have to have. But at the end of the day, you still have to be realistic about what your expectations are about the process. How long will it take from application to closing? Is it going to be a 30-day process? Is it going to be 45 days? And there's changes coming that probably is something we could talk about on another program in October with the whole disclosure process.
Yes.
It's called TRID. But again, realistically, that's a topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah, and we'll sit down, we'll talk about that. And if you guys are out there reading the news and you're understanding the closing process, 30-day closings are almost starting to look like a thing of the past, And then, so what I tell people is not necessarily work with somebody who's preparing for this, to happen, and you could still do 30-day closings.
Well, I'd say within 30 to 45 days will probably be the new norm.
Close to it.
But here's the key thing: is communication.
That's right.
And
education. Right? Because the client needs to have communication with us as real estate professionals, right?
Right.
And mortgage professionals. But we need to have that education. We need to have that knowledge to be able to bestow upon our potential buyer or seller.
Because you set the proper expectations for buyer and seller up front.
Yeah.
And the thing comes down to, which is key how your operation works, it's communication. Lender communicating with realtor, lender, title, attorney, agent, everybody, team. It's a team effort.
It's a team effort. Absolutely.
And if I can stress anything to the listening public out there about when you're going for a home, find out when you sit down with that realtor, who's generally your first point of contact and the most trusted professional in the whole process, who's on your team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then shut up and let them tell you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Because that's so critical to being able to know that you have someone who's not just, there's a couple of people that I think I know or I may have worked with. You want professionals throughout the process, because that's where it breaks down.
And a lot of times that's where it benefits you working with a seasoned agent.
Exactly.
Because a seasoned agent has been through the ins and outs with multiple lenders, title companies, attorneys, inspection companies, insurance companies, you name it, right?
Exactly.
You want somebody.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad. And you want somebody who can sit with you and go, hey, listen, this is who you want to work with.
Right.
It's great in recognizing issues early on. Someone who's more experienced in the business, both on Bruce on your end and on our end, is going to foresee something coming just in the earlier stages of the process, rather than someone who has less experience and is going to realize it when it's too late. And
exactly.
You're already at this bridge.
Yeah, and you're already knee deep in it.
Yeah.
So Bruce, do me a favor. Pass on your information. I want people to know how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. Well, my cell phone is 516-503-3843. I've got two office numbers, one in Miami, which is 305-728-2430. In Boca, 855-762-2735. And my email is brdavis@financeofamerica.com. We are Finance of America, which is a Blackstone company, and we are the Pulse Group in Boca. Probably some of you may have heard of that name before,
Yes,
but
sir.
The idea is that it's a matter of I work with like-minded professionals who understand that there's certain pillars to getting people into a home. And paramount in that process is, which I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, a thorough pre-approval process where we leave no stone unturned. You know that when we say you're pre-approved, you're going to get a mortgage. There's not going to be a surprise unless they do some of the don'ts, which is
buy that Bentley. or not even lease that Bentley.
Leasing, whatever they do that goes outside of the norm and changes their financial picture. pay the bills on time, do everything, and trust the professionals that you've engaged to work with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for being a part of this today.
My pleasure.
That you've delivered amazing information. We're definitely going to have you back because I have a feeling that we're going to get some amazing feedback right now. And once that feedback comes in strong, they're going to want, it's like that. You feed somebody a little bit, they got to eat some more.
They're hungry for more.
We got to give them some more information. That's it.
Well, they find out Bruce is working with the super agents over here. I mean, come on.
Man, if you guys can see me now, I'm blushing. That's what I'm going to say, right? And I'm really, really light-skinned, so it's easy to tell. All right. All right, guys, I want to give you guys some local news that's happening here in Miami, or in South Florida, should I say. And I tend to pay attention to all the news that comes in because I like to know what's going on. So right now in Miami, I'm starting to see that there's a real effort to reel in investors from China. Apparently there's a lot of money in China that's coming this way, and this is a foresight that they're seeing in the real estate industry. And because of that, a lot of South Florida developers and brokerage firms are recruiting real estate professionals who are fluent in Mandarin and are of Chinese descent. They're starting to do this more and more and more because they're realizing that China is finding out more and more about Miami through word of mouth, right? And then, of course, you have American television shows that are airing over there. Huge fans of the Miami Heat. D. Wade is out there, our very own D. Wade, right?
Sneaker company is actually a Chinese brand.
Yes.
Really?
So
Okay.
So he's sponsoring up there.
NBA is a very big deal in China.
NBA is a huge deal. Yes. It's like, when I was stationed in Japan, I learned that baseball was a real big thing in Japan. I had no idea. I thought like baseball was the all-American sport.
Right.
No, not so much. They're pretty good over there too. You know what I mean?
Some Chinese companies have actually recently opened up shop here in Miami.
Well, I think what you'll find with the Chinese market coming to Miami, it's going to be more of what you just described. Opening shops, having comfort in knowing that there's an infrastructure of services that are going to serve that community, which is going to be key to that move.
Yeah.
So as you see more businesses coming over, you see more products, services, that's going to be kind of another indicator that the wave is coming.
Yep. And I know that there's a group, I can't give, I'm not going to give any names, but there's a group here at Douglas Elliman who recently hired a Mandarin speaking of Chinese descent person to tap into that as well. He's an investment banker or investment fund manager, I believe. And I believe that that's a great move on their part. It's a great move to have that foresight. And I'm seeing more and more Element agents traveling to China to learn more about and give more information about Miami, in South Florida. In other news, more foresight in downtown and the design district and everywhere else. We just saw that a huge developer just purchased a property for $6.83 million, 1,100 square foot corner property on Southeast 1st Street and South Miami Avenue. So that's good indication. And well, first of all, the seller really took advantage of this market right now. And it's a good indication of what's happening in the market today because these developers are looking and they have the foresight and they're going to say, I need to pick up this property now so that when it's time to develop this luxury condo, I'm ready to go. That being said, Lionheart Capital lands a $95 million construction loan. They're the developers of the Ritz-Carlton residences in Miami Beach, right? It's an amazing project. It's an amazing project, and it's good to hear that they were able to land a $95 million construction loan. That's really good to hear.
That's
because
amazing.
What does that say? That project's going up, and the sales are right because the bank is not going to lend that type of money on a project with a little bit of contracts.
That's right,
That
because they
means
want
that
their money
project
back.
is selling, man.
Absolutely.
That project is selling, and it's selling to real deal people, right?
I love how the Ritz is like, it has that boutique style condo feel to it. It's
Absolutely.
not huge. It's only 111 units, and they have, I think, about 15 family style villas in it. I love that it's almost like a community within itself. It's so boutique style and closed off. Everybody's going to know each other. I love that.
It's the lifestyle. That's
the
what people
lifestyle.
come to Miami for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are selling, is lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Period. End of story.
And it's not overpriced too. I mean, there are the penthouses for $40 million, but it's starting at, I believe, around $2 million.
Yep. So speaking of lifestyle, let's talk about Key West for a second. Right? If you guys know Key West Harbor, it's a marina on Stock Island in Key West. They just went on the market and they're asking $50 million. right? And so, I mean, if you know Key West, you know it's tight down there. So they're selling this off as an opportunity to build a luxury hotel, condo, or something over there with a marina in place. Now, that's a big deal in Key West. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, next week, we're going to be bringing in Golden Yacht Charters to talk to us, because they are now the first official luxury yacht charter company to be able to charter from Miami and Key West into Cuba and back.
You should say that again.
Yes. So now the first to move luxury condos or luxury boats, luxury yachts with people ready to go, taking them to Cuba and back, right? And so that's going to change things here in Miami for real estate, and it's probably going to change things in Cuba for real estate too.
That's a big game changer.
So that's a complete game changer. I hope somebody picks up that property over there in Key West. If you're interested, call me. I'll be happy to give you a tour of this $50 million marina. No problems whatsoever. My phone number is 786-529-5273, 786-529-5273. Visit us on our website, themiamihomesearch.com or thekursteam.com. We'll be happy to give you all kinds of information on purchasing or selling your home. We're the best at it. No one markets the way we do. It's what we do best. Let us learn about who you are, learn about who we are, so we can help each other out. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Get home safe. Get out of that traffic.
You have been listening to the Kurz Team Real Estate Show. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to visit us at www.thekurzteam.com or call us at 786-529-5273 for more information. Tune in next week as we cover some more real estate ground here in South Florida.